Coming up, flooding concerns as we get ready to ring in the new year.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Some of our communities were faced with devastating flooding in early March. Feet of water surrounded homes and businesses in several counties. Now there's concern that heavy rains this weekend could cause issues in some of these same areas. Chad Hedrick has a look at how first responders are preparing.
In early March, the only way down Main Street in Beattyville was by boat.
Well, it was heart-wrenching. I've just never seen anything quite like it.
Other communities in Powell and Estill counties were just as devastated. Neighbors had to be rescued from their homes by raft.
They came to the house and took us out, took us to the fire station. From there, they put us on a bus and brought us here and boated us across.
It's just amazing because I don't remember being this way. I've been here 46 years, and this is the first I've ever seen it this high, this bad.
Now there's concern that 2021 could end with more high water issues. In Lee County, emergency management says they spent Thursday checking their gear and looking at plans for action. After several feet of water flooded downtown Beattyville in early March, more high water hit in June when a state of emergency was declared after rounds of rain washed out roads and brought down trees and power lines in other parts of Lee County. In Estill County, officials say they are monitoring the forecast and preparing to respond, especially the common trouble spots. As for damage left behind in March, they say recovery is moving along and most families are back in their homes, hoping there is not a repeat of those early March days as we start off a new year. Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
Emergency management agencies say they urge everyone to check their social media pages for updates on conditions in their communities.
Still keeping an eye on the heavy rain threat as we head into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But first, something else we need to talk about, and that is the fog. We've got quite a bit of fog out there this evening, not really as evident from our I-75 camera at Mount Vernon, but I'll take you to downtown Whitesburg, where it's thick as pea soup out there and will be very shortly as well. They're sitting at 49 right there. The visibility now at 0. Some spots seeing the 10-mile visibility, Prestonsburg, Jackson, and Hazard. But here's the caveat. That's at the airport. Areas that are a little bit more enclosed may actually see a little bit more fog. I saw tons of fog out our back door here on Black Gold Boulevard not too long ago, and many spots seeing visibility of less than a mile. So just be careful on those roads out there tonight. It was a warm one out there today. Those temperatures getting up into the 60s, low 50s out there as we are out there right now. And then even some lower 40s starting to sneak in. That's where the rest of the action was tonight, down into the deep south. 50 overnight, partly to mostly cloudy with that fog. But we've got some heavy rain on the way as we head into the new year. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Several big wildfires hit parts of Colorado and the Boulder County area outside of Denver today. Just incredible video. Driven by winds of more than 100 miles per hour, the destructive flames forced thousands to leave their homes under mandatory evacuation orders. An estimated 580 homes, yes, 580 homes have burned. Governor Jared Polis declared a state of emergency, freeing up disaster emergency funds and resources.
Gusts of 100, 110 miles an hour can and have moved this fire down a football field in a matter of seconds. Here in December, who would think we'd be facing a major grassland fire?
The flames also destroyed a hotel and a shopping center. A hospital was forced to evacuate patients to other facilities. At least one first responder and 6 others were injured. Fortunately, no deaths reported so far. New year, new variant. 2022 is right around the corner, but another spike in COVID cases may put a slight damper on some New Year's Eve celebrations. WINT's Jordan Mullins has more on how to be safe when celebrating and how venues are preparing to keep guests safe.
As the new year is drawing ever closer, we have seen another spike in COVID-19 cases across the globe and here in the region, especially cases of the Omicron variant.
That's the problem about the Omicron. It is at least 2 to 4 times more contagious than the Delta. But when you have massive amount of people infected with Omicron, you're going to see a surge of infection with a lot of hospitalization.
Because of this surge in cases, New Year's Eve celebration venues are focused on safety while ringing in the new year.
If you feel safe wearing a mask, more than welcome to wear a mask. You know, space yourself inside here. I mean, we're very well sanitized.
Along with masking up, social distancing, and general cleanliness, Dr. Fadi Alacross at Pikeville Medical Center suggests receiving a vaccine or booster.
The 2 shots, unfortunately now you're not going to have the full protection with Omicron. But if you get the booster, this is going to boost your immunity to around 75% with Omicron. So highly encourage people to get vaccinated, and especially the booster if they're qualified.
In order to have a safe New Year's,
this is basically what we advise people to do. Be smart about your choices, pick what's right for you, protect your environment, and we wish everybody a Happy New Year, full of health, as well as full of joy and happiness.
And keep yourself, family, friends, and neighbors healthy in 2022. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Dr. Alacross says if you're interested in receiving a vaccine or booster, to call Pikeville Medical Center for more information. The Omicron variant continues to take hold here in the Commonwealth. Eastern Kentucky health leaders say testing has increased, with many counties seeing a large number of positive COVID-19 cases. They say this is due in part to holiday gatherings and the Omicron variant.
The past 3 days, we have seen positivity rates ranging from 30 to 36%. So 1 out of every 3 people that's coming in to get tested at the health department is positive right now.
Officials say those percentages are the highest in health department testing they have seen since the pandemic began. Now, we will not have new statewide numbers until Monday due to the holiday weekend. The Biden administration is urging the U.S. Supreme Court not to block the federal vaccine and testing mandate for large employers, citing the continued spread of COVID-19. The mandate requires that companies with more than 100 people ensure that their workers are fully vaccinated or undergo regular testing and wear a face covering at work. The Supreme Court has scheduled oral arguments in the cases for January 7th. Dr. Carol Combs Morris, a well-respected veterinarian in Eastern Kentucky, died Tuesday. With more than 30 years of experience, Dr. Combs Morris was seen by many to be a fighter for animals across the region. No matter the challenge, colleagues say she could handle any situation thrown at her. They describe her as an amazing vet, co-worker, and friend.
She said that we could basically do whatever she did. So she let us help with pretty much anything that we could help with, and then she taught us along the way.
This weekend, a private burial service will be held. One Floyd County pastor stepped up this week to help out a family in need when Trevor Cook and Brianna Halbert posted to Facebook saying they were in the hospital with their 2-month-old son Grayson after dealing with the loss of 2 sons in previous years, followed by a fire and a flood. Ray Davis knew he wanted to do something. Though he did not know the family, he reached out to offer prayers and asked if he could help by setting up an online fundraiser.
To reach out and show that we are the church, you know, it's what Scripture says. We're the hands and feet to do and to go to make a difference in somebody's life.
The fundraiser has collected almost $2,000 to help offset the family's expenses, and they say Grayson is slowly being weaned off the ventilator with hopes of a recovery and homecoming in the weeks to come. A different kind of mining company is coming to Harlan County. Judge Executive Dan Mosley says ANKR Exponential Digital, a cryptocurrency mining company, will be opening an operation at Chad just outside of Cumberland. The company is already looking for data center facility technicians, and we have a link to the job openings on our website at WYMT.com. Coming up at 11, we take a deep dive into the high prices of insulin for those who need it and what changes will be starting soon that could help lower that cost.
And a stormy start to 2022 as showers and storms work back in. Some could be on the strong side with heavy rain the main threat. I'll have the breakdown on the way.